Welcome back to Let's Laugh About It, the not-so-serious business podcast powered by D2CX. I'm Zoe Kahn, and I'm here to celebrate our wins, vent about our challenges, and bring the D2C and e-commerce community together. Welcome back to Let's Laugh About It, your not-so-serious business podcast with Zoe Kahn. And today I'm here with Sean David Frank. Do I use the David? I've got David in here. Do we call you Sean David Frank?
You can call it whatever you want. It's not a professional moniker. But yeah, I have 3 first names. You can any of them. I get called Frank all the time.
All right, Sean David Frank. He's the CEO of Ridge Wallet, where he's been instrumental in scaling their brand, leading product strategy, and pushing the boundaries of minimalist accessory design. Sean blends a passion for simplicity and performance with a sharp business acumen. And over the next 45 minutes, we'll unpack how he's driven growth, navigated challenges in a crowded market, and built a brand that doesn't just sell wallets, it sells a philosophy. Sean, welcome to the show. Let's kick things off. Tell us about how you came into Ridge, your journey, and what led you here.
So I actually owned a advertising agency. So me and my current CMO, business partner, Connor McDonald, we started an ad agency in like 2016. We were both working on a bigger ad agency that it was the early days of Facebook ad buying where anybody could learn how to do it. Everybody everyone was equally bad. So the agency was trying its heart out, the bigger agency, but it didn't seem to retain clients very well. And I just turned to her one day. I'm like, I think we could do this. So we had a very shitty agency. We had maybe 10 clients, 8 of them you've never heard of. One of them was Ridge. And then the other one was actually Mudwater. That's a great brand. So they're out there crushing it. We did PPC for them in the very early days. But yeah, Ridge was a client. We ran the agency and we were doing a lot of stuff for Ridge. They didn't want to run a lot of aspects of the business. So we started out doing performance marketing. We ended up doing email. Then we did customer service. Then we did ops. Then it ended up being 20 people working on my agency full-time for Ridge. Ridge had 3 full-time employees in-house. And so it just made sense to merge. So me and Connor took an equity stake. We rolled the agency into Ridge, and that was like 2018. And the rest is history.
So interesting. And I feel like we have similar ways of thinking where it's like, oh yeah, like I could figure that out. Like it sounded like they asked for more and more help and you're like, yeah, I could do that. I could do that too.
Yeah, I mean, good advice for people. If someone wants to give you more money, you should take the money. You shouldn't talk yourself out of getting the paycheck. So
right, especially if you could do a good job doing it.
Yeah, or at least a better job than whoever's doing it right now.
Yeah.
So they didn't really have anybody in-house doing operations. One of the co-founders was just doing all of the CX tickets. And I'm like, guys, I'll just hire someone to do that. We'll figure this out. And yeah, it was great. They had a lot of trust in me and Connor and the team. And we had a lot of trust in them. And when we merged, Ridge was probably doing like 30 million a year, and we'll do over 200 this year.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, I think that what year was it when you merged?
Like 2018.
2018. Okay. Yeah, because I think that there's I saw you tweet the other day, you're like, I'm not the founder of Ridge. And I feel like people you're so connected and you've got such a great brand or like personal brand that the story, it feels like you founded it. Like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, founder of Ridge, Sean.
Yeah, and there's no egos at Ridge. You can call anybody anything, and they'll be totally fine with it. So like, there's no one gets uppity about trying to be the founder. But I'm very clear that I'm not, because I think people should understand that the founder doesn't have to be the CEO forever. So like, typically founders aren't very good at being CEOs. Like, why would you be, right? If you're really good at making a product or those early days, it takes a lot of personal grit to change to be the person who can take it to 200 million. And then also you can make a ton of money not founding stuff, right? Like I found an agency and now I own, a big chunk of a really awesome brand. We never raised any money and it's been awesome.
Wait, so do you still own the agency, or is it?
No, so the agency came in-house for Ridge. We ran both of them together for a year, but then we ended up selling the agency to the guy running it. And then that guy ran it for a couple of years. John Stead and Skylar, they did a great job running it. And then they sold it to a big Canadian tech company called Dealmaker. So that agency has changed hands like 4 or 5 times.
Wow. Well, cool. Very cool. We talked about how Ridge doesn't just sell wallets. Can you take us through what that looked like?
Yeah, so when we up until 2021, 100% of revenue was wallets. We didn't sell anything else. And getting them to launch new wallets was difficult because of like supply constraints or whatever else. They were very comfortable just selling the same 6 colors of wallets to as many people as possible. Um, and the wallet market was great. I mean, it's like a $10 billion a year TAM. So there's a lot of wallets being sold, but really like how many wallets could you reliably scale to per year in America? And, we were selling 1 million wallets a year. And I'm like, guys, could we sell 5 million wallets a year? I mean, when you start doing the math, I'm like, we're kind of reaching the upper threshold of what a wallet brand could be. And there's no other wallet brands. Like there's people who sell wallets and like there's like big European brands. There's like the LVMHs, the Gucci's of the world. They sell a ton of wallets, but you wouldn't call them a wallet brand. They're accessories companies, right? So I'm like, we have to get into accessories. So we've spent the past 4 years just steadily increasing our market size and market TAM. So we sell men's wedding bands, we sell luggage, we sell phone cases, we sell all these other awesome product lines. And now wallets are like 40% of revenue, right? Like most of the business is all this other stuff.
Wow, that's awesome. I remember I don't know if it was like real drama, or if it was just like but the people giving you shit where like you're like, you can't sell rings. You're
Oh, yeah. I mean, people say that all the time. They're like, no, you sell wallets. Why are you going to sell other stuff? And I think until you start doing it, people have a very limited view of what your brand is or what it can do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congrats on the success of that. It's amazing. You guys give out cars, hand out cars like candy, right?
not like candy, but yeah, once a year we give out cars. Yeah, so we run like a sweepstakes. I stole it from somebody else in I went to like Nick Shackelford's Geek Out event, and somebody was talking about how it was a really awesome marketing campaign he ran. This is like in 2021. I'm like, oh fuck it, I'll do that. And now it's been like a big like tentpole event of the year. We just gave away a Lamborghini. We try not to make it the whole brand, like to be sweepstakes focused, but we do it like once a year in the summer. And now a bunch of brands are doing it. I see Monos is doing it, Huckberry's doing it. So I stole the idea, then other people stole the idea from me. So I'm not protective of it.
Do you guys do you feel like you get good return on the people who sign up for it? Like giveaways are always hard for that, where you're like, I was just going through some of my some giveaway entries, and one of them was like, fuck you, you don't need my email at gmail.com. Like there's so many spam emails within it sometimes.
Yeah. Look, the first year probably didn't make sense to do. That's why it's so fun to see all these brands jumping in and doing it now. Like, because it took us probably 3 years before it ended up being like a really big commercial, like positive moment for us. We're in year like 5, I think. And yeah, as soon as with the fifth one, I mean, we have the system dialed down now. We understand who to acquire, how to acquire them, how to speak to them, how to actually nurture those leads, and like we make an awesome. We just had our biggest non Q4 quarter ever. So bigger than any other Q2, any other Q3, any other Q1. This is like the biggest quarter ever. And it's because of the sweeps. But yeah, the first year, maybe the first 2 years, we lost money on them because we didn't know what we were doing.
Wow. Well, that's cool. That's like failing through is all it takes. So that's awesome. And I mean, I see it all over the place too, that the cars in the Lambo and Cybertruck. Was it the first year of Cybertruck? No.
No, so the Cybertruck was like the 4th year probably.
Fourth year.
Yeah. We gold plated a Cybertruck with Zach Nelson from Jerry Everything, a big YouTube channel. And yeah, that was like it was so hard to get that. I think that was like the 14th Cybertruck that they ended up delivering. So
wow.
Like getting an early allocation was just really, really hard.
Well, that's awesome. So tell us, so with actually, before I forget, because I don't want to get to the end of it and forget, this is Let's Laugh About It, and we love to visit moments in business that we can laugh about now, but maybe we didn't laugh about it in the moment. You have a laughable moment to share with the viewers?
Yeah, I mean, every day is a big chuckle, right, guys? You know, and there's probably like a million different ways to take this question, like, bad marketing campaigns or times you went viral for the wrong reasons. But we use 3PLs. We've never done our own fulfillment. Like maybe like the very early first year we did, we moved to 3PLs. And the nature of our product is like it's repairable. So we sell a lot of like component parts that like screws or plates or clips or elastic or whatever, the things that actually kind of build the wallet. And probably for like 3 months, we didn't check in on our 3PL, and they were shipping, instead of shipping somebody one pack of screws, they were shipping them the container of screws. So like a whole carton. So somebody, like, we end up checking the emails, and there's people being like, "Hey, I have 100 money clips. I just wanted one. What the hell do I do with these?" Trying to ship them back to us. So I mean, that was probably like a $50,000 mistake, right? All these people getting these giant component parts shipped to them. And that is funny now. Just thinking about somebody like just wanting 4 screws and then getting like 40,000 screws. Like, what are they going to do with that?
Yeah, and they're like, "Is this a sick joke?" Or if they know the brand, they're like, "Maybe this was done on purpose."
Yeah, they're like, do I throw it away? Like trying to figure out how to get back to us. It was good.
Yeah, I've heard of that happening before at other brands too, where and it's interesting to think about, like the 3PL just like blindly, like the order comes in, they fulfill it. And I one of my favorite things about one of the companies that I worked for before was opening up our own warehouse, and the detail that the team had of, they would even contact us if there was like 2 orders with the same address going out the same day, and be like, "We should save shipping costs. Like, can you ask the customer if it's okay if we put this in one box?" And like with a 3PL, like they would never. They would just send out 500 whatever. What was the example? The
Screws.
the
Yeah,
screws.
yeah.
They would just send out. They wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah, yeah. Because like it's some person who clocked in for a shift, and they don't know your brand. They don't know what's typical, and they're like, okay, this is what the SKU says. And they're just gonna put it in a box. So
Yeah, then there's not much thought behind it. Or I've seen like people will receive, the 3PLs, and it seems like impossible to a consumer, but like someone orders something and they get something from another brand. And
yes.
it's because, like, I don't know, there's a ton of brands being fulfilled out of some of these 3PLs, and they're like getting them mixed up. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And in Ecom Fuel, which is like a big ecom group, like a guy was trying to get to the bottom of this, and he's like, "Hey, like my 3PL assures me that they're not the ones messing this up, but my customers keep getting these wrong items. Like, what do you think is happening? You think it's USPS?" I'm like, "It's the 3PL. It's always the 3PL." It's like they have some fucked up system, and they just don't want to take accountability.
Well, yeah, and I think it's really worth it for, especially like someone, if you got like onshore customer support, the people who are like dealing with it, especially the operations folks, like going into the 3PL and just seeing their process is so important. Like I remember before I went into a 3PL and just being like, I can't believe, like, some of the stuff just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. But then you walk in and you're like, "Oh, well, this is like right next to this, and this one's not labeled, so no shit, you're gonna send the wrong one." And you've got like 40 people putting labels in your pocket and losing them, but blaming it on USPS. So it is like valuable to just like go there and like see what the process is, even though I feel like we shouldn't need to do that.
Now, look, if you walk your factory, you should walk your warehouse, right? Like, 100%. Just checking stuff out makes life way easier.
Yeah.
Also, if they know you're showing up, they'll clean up their act.
Yeah. And I think one of the other things is like you're paying them. They're your customer. They should do it right.
Totally.
So that's funny. Funny now. All right. So what would you say would be the biggest challenge with Ridge in this last couple years?
Well, I'm sure if your audience is mostly e-commerce brands, they can all relate that like post-COVID, everyone had some sort of challenge, right? And like it's, from 2020 to 2021, the bigger years you had, probably the bigger fall off. Outdoor in general as a category it's still not where it was in 2021. right? I know a lot of outdoor brands that like got to 50, 75, or 100 million like out of nowhere in 2020, 2021. And then those brands are still struggling at 20 or 30 million dollars today, right? And a lot of people get hooked onto like whatever that moment in time was, that valuation, that revenue, whatever. Uh, and the economy is still just working through like all of the changes and all of the chunks of money that got put into it. So that's a more general answer. Like, what's a specific challenge at Ridge? I mean, Ridge never had a really big breakout COVID moment. Our 2020 was fine. Our 2021 was fine. Our 2022 was fine. Like, all of this was just fine. So like, because we were not very hot during that period, I think we've been able to really manage growth that entire time. But yeah, just dealing with like, in 2022, a war broke out, then oil prices, and there's like a whole long list of stuff, bank collapses, whatever else, and we're still here fighting. There's not been one, massive disaster, but it's just been like, I mean, this year it's tariffs, right? It's just like there's always like another little battle you're fighting.
Yeah, that's always something. And if it's not challenging, and like I guess it just has to be, and you fight through it. Yeah, business is crazy. Just every day there's something, if it's big or small, or it's never easy. So, well, very interesting. Are you guys now using AI more than you would say at the last couple of years, or how are you guys are you using AI at all in your day to day?
Undoubtedly, right? I mean, I was an early ChatGPT like supporter. I think I got access to like version 3 in 2022, which like it blew my mind then. I'm like, oh my God, the robot responds, right? I thought it was so cool. But I didn't think it was going to be what it is today, right? Like the most valuable private company ever, more valuable than SpaceX. Like Sora just launched a crazy app. I mean, it's probably, you're hard pressed to find a part of our business that isn't using AI, right? So if it's, I mean, all customer service responses are going through AI first,
Mhm.
right? And we've already had automation, right? So the difference is, we have bucketed responses, right? So like we have approved responses that people can go in and collect from. But now with AI, it's like, okay, let's run this past, being like, is this going to answer the customer's question at what percentage, what score? And then it's like, how can we automate this further? How can we pull in more edge cases? So like customer service is already happening, but we're doing it too. I mean, product development, we're getting stuff designed way faster. Marketing, all copywriting is being done by AI at this point. A lot of our actually all of our concepting. So we still have physical photography that we take. We still have videos that we shoot, but like all concepting for that is just moved over to AI. So yeah, dude, it's touched every single part of our business, and I don't think it's slowing down.
Yeah, agreed. I think that the last couple of years I personally was like same reaction. It's like, this is awesome, but then I'd forget to use it, and then I'm like I can not forget to use it because it's just such a good tool. And we just had also just like letting our employees know that like we're pro AI has been a big thing too, because I think there's this shift of like employees being like, am I gonna get in trouble for using, like, is this okay? And I think the big shift in this last like year or two is like, no, we want you to be using AI so that you can be more productive and be more like, let it do the things that you will free up your time. But please tell us when you have more time on your plate.
Totally. Yeah, we have a company stand up, so everyone at the company gets together every day for an hour every morning, and just bringing a couple of those every month are like AI use cases. So like people showing off cool AI stuff they've done, or we build fun games internally for using AI, and then we have people play those and show them off. So yeah, you have to like just make sure you're discovering cool new stuff to do and then sharing it with your team.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that hour every day. It sounds like intimidating to pull out an hour of everyone's day every day, but it sounds very useful. And um, you guys, was it you guys that do you do everyone has a VA?
Yeah.
That's still
Yeah, it's probably with AI, less people today have assistants, but I mean, still, there's at least 50 that work throughout the company.
Yeah, because the thought is like if you're doing anything tedious that's not worth your time, free up your time. Like I know I'm really bad. I need someone in my email, or else I won't like look at my email, or I will miss everything. And so for me, having like a VA in my email, I'm like, I can't imagine not having that anymore.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's mostly like just there's so much information always going on. Like we're fully remote, right?
Yeah.
And how do you make sure someone from marketing knows about the changes that happen in product? That's why we have stand up, but it's also why we have just so much documentation, right? So every meeting, there's somebody recording notes. Those notes get shared across every other team. If they're important, they get bubbled up to like the people who need to know about them. So trying to think as transparently as possible inside of Slack.
That's amazing. If the structure and the systems, I'm sure make such a difference. And it's a lot of, I think, like I definitely could use more, put more time towards like making those systems, because I think that me, like a lot of people, you don't really like remember, or you're like, oh, I'll do it later until there's like some big miscommunication, and it would have been worth it to just set up a system like that to make sure that everybody hears everything and it's all you. I think you said, I've heard you say like you can go into any meeting that has ever happened and like read the notes from it and be fully caught up, right? From like those types of systems.
Totally. Yeah, that's the goal.
That's awesome. So, Sean, do you how much time do you spend on Twitter?
Oh man, I'm really trying to cut it down. Probably last year I was probably spending like 4 hours a day on Twitter. And
Uh-huh.
then um, when all the tariff stuff happened, like Q1 was just really, really difficult to run this business. And then there was probably also like the world was just feeling really negative. So I took like a full 45 days off, like no social media at
Oh,
all. And now I don't know, maybe like an hour a day. I know I post a lot, but it's all just me sending ideas out there. And then I don't really care what happens. So people can read, respond. It's not even about the likes. It's just when I think of something funny, I have to say it, and then I can move on with my life.
I love your Twitter. And I've been flow with Twitter of like, uh, if I think of something funny, I'm like, oh, that's a good tweet. I'll just post it out there, and then people will be like, "Did you see my reply?" I'm like, "Oh no, I don't know, but I haven't seen anything." But Twitter is such a great place, and I think that wait, what is your we can plug your Twitter right now that we're talking about it. What's the handle?
Sure. Always love a good plug. It's just at Sean Ecom.
At Sean Ecom, one M or two M's?
Just one. I'm a
Just
one
one.
M believer.
Okay. So you guys definitely should follow Sean on Twitter, X, whatever we want to call it today, because he's very entertaining and sometimes controversial, but you're very confident. Like, I feel like you could tweet anything, and I would be like, yeah, even if I like, maybe if I didn't like agree, I'm like, wait, actually, yeah, Sean said it. I agree.
Yeah, I just think people treat the internet because it's like the written word with like too much permanence or whatever. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, dude. It's like oh, this isn't my job. I have a different job. I have like a different thing. And like like yeah, it has nothing to do with me having fun on the internet. They're just it's two totally separate worlds. So I don't care about any sort of controversy. I'm just trying to live my life, man.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate your tweets, and because it's like, especially on the negativity side, there's can be like, I don't know if are you on Reddit?
Oh, well, dude, yeah. I try to open my mind for like more what more people are thinking about. Dude, everyone on Reddit says the world's ending. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about, man? It's
Yeah,
like there's no concept of like history or whatever. I'm like, dude, the life is so beautiful. Like I'm looking at I got like sun coming through this window right here. I can go walk and get any sandwich I want. I'm like, dude, life's awesome. Um
it's all
people
about
need
sandwiches.
yeah, people need to go outside more, man.
Yeah, touch some grass. Yeah, it's so interesting with the I think that Twitter and Reddit, there's like the farther you get from people like knowing who the like the anonymous posting stuff, and sometimes Twitter there's a lot of like what do you call it? Like the fake Twitters or the
Bots,
yeah, the bots, but not the bots, but like the people
anon
who
accounts,
what is
anon,
yes,
anonymous accounts.
yes, yeah. They're just like brutal. And I think that's how Reddit is too, but because everyone is anonymous, but the going on Twitter and like having cool, like smart people who are witty, like it's my like favorite place as long as my timeline stays like cleansed. Because otherwise it's like, okay, everyone's just complaining about everything and it just feels like, okay, just try harder.
Yeah, look, and we all have too much communication coming at us all the time. So I mute all notifications. So it's like I don't see anything from anybody. So it's like I'm just trying to go on there and have fun and yeah. I mute so many words. Like you have to like a lot of people just get fed slop from the algorithm and then they get mad at the algorithm. But it's like, yeah, whatever you see and engage with, you could totally change that completely. Just start searching dog videos on TikTok or Instagram and just liking all the dog videos. You're just gonna have the best time, man. So
Yeah, it's what it is funny. It's actually more now so than ever a reflection of what that person is looking up. So it's like I have the same philosophy about AI too, and people are like, "Oh, AI sucks," but it's like, well, it's only as good as the tools you use and the person who set it up. Like it's a reflection, and I feel like social media is the same. I practiced like social media cleanses from just being a girl and you're like comparing yourself to everyone, like especially my early 20s when I realized like anyone on my feed who isn't good for my mental health, like just mute them and just keep practicing that. And if you shouldn't go on if you go on social media and it makes you feel like shit, like you need to cleanse it and make sure that you look up dog videos instead of like comparing yourself to things.
oh yeah, totally. I mean, relating social media to AI, because there's a big anti-AI movement, but like there was a big anti-social media movement too, and now it's like the social media companies are worth trillions of dollars. It's like if you were anti-social media, it's like it didn't change the fact that it is coming, and it's the same thing with AI. It's like, look, you can be anti-AI all day. We could talk about how it is definitely going to change the landscape of asset creation, content creation. Like the movie industry is going to continue to be threatened by this, right? It's all of that. It's totally true and valid, but like the future's coming. It's like we can't put the genie back in the bottle. This will continue to advance. We have to do something. Like you have to at least understand what it is. You can't just like tune in and drop out.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You have to lean into it. Are there any AI, like next wave AI things that come to mind for you that you like predictions that you might see in the future?
Yeah, like well, you can't even call them predictions because the big companies, right, Claude or OpenAI or Google, they tell you what they're working on, but then nobody believes it or nobody uses the tools. Like agents are coming, right? Like agentic workflows are coming. It will dominate shopping. And people like you can do it today. Like I did this from the whole company at Ridge. I was like, hey guys, look, I'm gonna order Chinese food, but I'm not gonna order it. And I just went on OpenAI. I put on operator mode, is what they call it. And I said, order me Chinese food. It knows where I live, it has my credit card, and it knows everything about me. And it took a long time. It took like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. But then Chinese food showed up at my house, right? I'm like, one prompt got Chinese food at my house. And that works today, right? Um, the big, I guess, prediction is like naturally where this is going to happen is instead of prompting it, because that takes human energy, it'll start prompting you. It'll just be like, hey, do you want a milkshake? And you'll be like, I do want a milkshake. Thank you, OpenAI. They're like, cool, here's a milkshake. And it's like, it's only $6. It's like, yeah, I do want a milkshake.
Yeah, it's like telling you about the sales for your favorite things and all of that.
Yeah, and it's like the classic thing is when you're at dinner, right? If how often are you like, I'm gonna order dessert, right? Almost never. But then the server's like, would you like dessert? And they start talking to you about it. That's a prompt. They're prompting you. And maybe you're like, oh fuck, I didn't think about getting dessert, but now I'm gonna get one. That is what's gonna happen to all internet communication. It's like it's just going to tell you, hey, do you want to watch this movie? Hey, I think you're going to like this, whatever, new restaurant, this vacation, this whatever. It's prompting, and it's going to eat all of commerce, and it's coming. So like the future is going to be awesome for a lot of different reasons, but this is just, it's changing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's yeah, and I think part of it too is what you mentioned about they're sharing everything that they're doing, but I think people are still just figuring out how, like, there's a good chunk of the world that just is still trying to figure out how to talk to ChatGPT correctly, or like know how to prompt it, or understand that, like, even understanding you need to start a new conversation if it's about something different, so you don't confuse the. I think people are still like behind to step one from being just like against it, and so it's like hard for everyone to keep up because they're like they don't even know what's going on right now.
Yeah, look, and um, if you're a techno optimist, if you're on the internet, if you're trying to talk about this type of stuff, you are not even in the top 1%. It's like you're in the top 5,000 people or whatever, top 50,000 people. You're like the people who are actually on the cutting edge of this. And you're totally right. The middle 80%, we're like 2 years away from them like becoming, power users or whatever. But
Yeah. Do you guys have you guys thought about live selling, or do you do any live selling? Like,
no, we
mhm.
we don't. I don't think it works for men's focused brands at our price point, but I am looking tomorrow at investing in like a live selling studio. So like I believe in the content creation aspect. I don't think people really want to shop live all that much.
Mhm.
But I think it as asset creation, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I've been recently addicted to Whatnot for Pokemon cards. Like, I've been gambling. Like, they don't call it gambling, but I'm gambling trying to get these stupid cards, this cardboard. And I heard another brand was talking about how they came back from doing live selling on Whatnot. And like, for me, the card ripping and all of that makes sense because it's like things that are exclusive or hard to get, or like yeah, it's like you're playing like a game live, or it is like, I don't know, any of those like gambling apps.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how people lean into it, because it does seem like it's on like it's just different, and it's Facebook ads are too expensive now, and people are looking for different ways, or there's markets where they can't use Facebook ads. So it seems like it works well, but for SKUs or if you have a lot of SKUs, and some types of like exclusivity or to your products. So yeah, I was when you say you're going to get a studio that's for more content creation for.
Uh, well, first on the Whatnot point, yeah, like everyone talks about TikTok Shop, right? And like they always point to China, they're like live selling's a big deal. I think Whatnot is such a good example of live selling working because it's like fandom first. There's collectability to it. There's exclusive natures to it. So I really like it. Totally makes sense. It's like it's a better form of auctions or whatever. So I like Whatnot's killing it. They just raised a bunch of money. No, but I'm looking at investing in a content studio that does live selling. So like imagine like a 5,000 square foot studio, but it's just a bunch of just stalls and booths where people are just live selling all day.
Ah.
Um, and I don't think it's going to work for Ridge, but there's a lot of companies it does work for, like Goalie on TikTok Shop. And I think the bonus nature of that is like you have to create a lot of content as a brand. Live selling just helps you create a lot of content. If you have good clips, you clip it, you do clipping campaigns, or you just run them as ads.
Yeah, it brings me back to even just I used to stream on Twitch full time, and like when all my content came from clips from my Twitch, like I didn't spend much time creating content outside of like being live. It was just taking that time and like editing the content from being live. And it's definitely a much like more natural way too, where if people like believe in, like, let's go back to the selling part. If someone like actually likes the product and believes in it and is just naturally talking about it, that's like your best UGC you've ever got.
Totally, yeah. And if you're live all the time, you have to talk about something. That's the big challenge, right? So you might as well talk about brands or whatever else.
Yeah, and the people get so it's like reality TV because you're not just selling, but you're connecting with the seller, and they want to know what's going on, like what's going on with your life, and like they care about this person, they're more invested in them. So it's definitely a unique, and I'm interested to see how it plays out in the future with like especially like Whatnot type apps.
Cool, man.
Yes. Now last, we are, sorry, let me look at the time. Oh, okay. We have to ask the whole Black Friday, Cyber Monday. How's Black Friday, Cyber Monday feeling for you? You guys got it under control? Are you doing early sales? What's it looking like for you?
Yeah, look, like I said earlier about the whole COVID thing, like a lot of people had a revenue decline at some point in 2022 or 2023 or 2024. And if you're listening to this and that's you, it's totally normal. Like that's something people nobody wants to talk about is that like I would say 70% of brands had a revenue decline in one of those years, right? Especially if you existed for 5 years before. We're just very lucky we didn't have a revenue decline, but I think that's because we didn't spike as hard as a lot of other brands in 2021 and 2022. With that being said, it's been very consistent over here. I think we're gonna have a above average Black Friday. It won't be like the biggest highlights you've seen in the in 2021 or whatever, but it's gonna be a good Black Friday. Consumers still look strong. Um, you know, I think we're gonna get rate cuts and never bet against the American consumer. They love buying shit, right? Like there's maybe your thing's not gonna be the hot gift, but there's always something, right? So I do think the American consumer is gonna be strong. Like Ridge operational workflow, we're killing it. I mean, I have the most talented team on earth. They are super on top of it. We've already shot all of the content for all of Q4. They're working on Q1 already. So we're all locked in. We have email strategy signed up, deal drops, the whole thing. This year it's been very operationalized the whole go-to-market flow.
For somebody who wants to do more of the operational organization and everything, do you have any advice for someone who's trying to like get everything under control and get ahead of things and feel confident about their processes?
Yeah, one is you have to have a system, right? So like I don't care if you build it in Notion or Airtable or Asana, you have to have a system and you have to have a system everyone buys into and agrees on. No other silos. It's like this is the system we're using. I don't care if you like Google Sheets. This is what I decided. If you want to work here and get paid, this is the thing we're doing, right?
So number one is a leader who says that.
Yeah. It's like
I've seen that where it's like this is the system, but like if you don't want to use it, then you could do, and I think that number one is that actually is being the cult leader.
yeah. It's like there's a reason why the military has so many fucking rules, right?
Yeah.
It's like, why do you have to dress a certain way? Why do you have to make your bed a certain way? Why do you have to do all that type of stuff? It's not because there's 100% correlation between if your bed's made, if you're good at fighting, right? It's because you live or die by the system and the rules, right? It's like, it's, the classic thing is like, those famous writers from old rock bands where it's like, the Who or whatever used to like request a bowl full of green M&Ms, right? And it's like, oh, if you don't have the bowl full of green M&Ms, I'm going to leave. And everyone's like, oh, what a prima donna thing to do. But like, no, it's because like, if you're not going to follow the rules completely, like what if there's something dangerous that happens because you didn't listen to the rest of the writer, right? That's what it comes out to. So 100% buy-in on that. Anyway, yeah, you need that top, bottom down, 100% buy into the rules. You have to make it super clear that this is the system we're all using. And then once you have the system, then you can start building out like the workflow inside of it. So like right now we have what we call the go-to-market board, where it's like, here's every important thing that's happening in the business for the next 6 months. So it's like product launches are in there, big shipping cutoffs are in there, email campaigns are in there. And like that creates the main objective, and then tasks get built off of that. So it's like, hey, look, we're releasing a product. Well, we know when you release a product, you have to make packaging files. You have to do all these different other steps. And then we built it in Notion. And then so like we just released a color called Rodeo Red. Okay, so Rodeo Red, go to market board. Then it's like, okay, inside of that, it's like someone has to come up with a concept that gets assigned to somebody on the team automatically. These things are happening automatically. And then you just wake up the day when if you're one of my employees, you see what you're supposed to work on because it's been auto assigned by the go to market board. It's super nerdy, but man, it has made everyone's life super easy.
Well, and I think there's this false but not so false opinion about everyone needs to, like, you want to give your employees agency and like make sure that they're like being innovative, but for a lot of employees, they just want to know what they're supposed to come in and do at work every day. And so if you tell them that, then they're like, okay, cool, I'll do that.
Right. And there's a saying in venture capital, it's like you innovate on the company, you don't innovate on the company structure, right? It's like every company is a C Corp registered in Delaware for a reason. And it's like that inside of Ridge. It's like, look, they can make the most innovative, creative campaign possible for Rodeo Red. What they don't need to do is make up a new way to manage that process. We're going to give that to them.
Right. Well, awesome. It's very inspiring. I know that I personally can use some more structure in like everything, and ADHD makes it hard.
Well, dude, the other thing is I'm not a structured person. I don't set up the system. I have a guy on my team, Adam, who's a fucking lunatic about it, and he sets it up, and he will kill people. He hits me up trying to fire people all the time, be like, they did not use Notion correctly, and I'm like, look, Adam, you got to calm down. But publicly facing to the company, I support that motherfucker like crazy. I am on stand up being like, you need to use the Notion system, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's not for me. I'm not good at the system, but that's why I get to be CEO.
And that's the beauty of understanding what you're good at and hiring for things that you're not and handing it off. So that's really awesome. Well, Sean, can you tell the listeners where they can find you on the interwebs besides Twitter?
Well, you should go to ridge.com and you should buy a wallet. So that's where you should go. But I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn. I mean, oh, we have a podcast, the Operators Podcast. Yeah.
Great podcast.
Yeah, that has tens of thousands of listeners of people who love e-commerce. So I got to plug that. We have a whole network. We got like a marketing operator show. We have like a interview show. I mean, it's killing it, dude.
You got, is your Slack channel still popping too? Because isn't there an operator Slack channel?
We shut it down. We moved over to e-commerce fuel. So
cool.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't like using Slack, so we were just like, fuck it, we're gonna combine with e-com fuel. So that's what we ended up doing.
Oh, congrats. That's amazing. Well, for the listeners, make sure you check all that out. The Operators Podcast is so fun. It's one of my favorites. So definitely check that out. And then thank you for listening. And you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, rate it, send it to your grandma, send it to your cousins, all those things. They want to hear Sean talk about wallets and other things. So thanks for listening. I'm a huge hit with grandmas, so they're going to get a lot of bonus points. They will love it. Thank you, Sean. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and catch us in the next episode. And thank you for listening.